Hello, Namaste and welcome you all. In our last lecture, we have discussed the meaning and contents of the BEP and margin of safety. Now we are going to understand how the form of contribution changes as per the changes in the volume of output or sales. In other words, we are going to understand the correlationship between the contribution and BEP. So let's start with one practical example. So practical example. Total fixed cost is rupees 8, per unit selling price is rupees 10, per unit variable cost is rupees 6. I have taken small figures you can so as to you can understand easily. Total fixed cost rupees 8 only. I have taken small figure so as to you can understand easily. Per unit selling price 10, per unit variable cost 6. So let's start our example. The first column shows stages. Means this is first stage, pre-BEP stage, means before BEP stage. Second, BEP stage, and third, after or post BEP stage. And second column shows changes in the contribution, and third is a indication. So let's start. Pre-BEP stage means before BEP stage, before reaching to BEP stage. Suppose we have sold one unit. One unit sold at rupees 10. Selling price is rupees 10. So one unit sold at rupees 10. So total sales became rupees 10. So total sales 10 less variable cost of one unit is 6. Per unit variable cost is 6. So variable cost of one unit is rupees 6. So sales 10 less variable cost 6 is equal to contribution became 4. Contribution is 4. So contribution is 4 and total fixed cost is rupees 8. Means suppose this is our output, this is our unit, we have sold it for rupees 10 and per unit variable cost of the pen is rupees suppose 6. So when we sell the unit, then variable cost rupees 6 we immediately get recover, and the remaining 4 rupees, 10 rupees we have sold unit at rupees 10, 6 rupees per unit variable cost immediately recover, then remaining rupees 4 will be utilized to recover our total fixed cost. Means when we sold one unit at rupees 10, we immediately recover variable cost of one unit rupees 6 and remaining rupees 4 is the contribution, and the same contribution amount will be utilized to recover our total fixed cost, which is rupees 8. Means when we sold one unit, then our 4 rupees contribution is utilized to recover our total fixed cost. Our total fixed cost is 8. Means when we sold one unit, how much fixed cost is recovered? Rupees 4. Total fixed cost is 8. Out of 8 rupees we have recovered rupees 4. Means 50% fixed cost we recover and 50% fixed cost remain to recover. Means contribution is in the form of part of fixed cost. Fixed cost is rupees 8. But when we sold one unit, then contribution rupees 4 utilized to recover our total fixed cost. And out of total fixed cost rupees 8, rupees 4 we have recovered. So contribution is in the form of part of fixed cost. Fixed cost is 8, but when we sold one unit, then how much we have recovered? We have recovered 4 and rupees 4 fixed cost remain to recover. Means when we sold one unit, then what is the position between the contribution and fixed cost? Our contribution is 4. At one unit sales level, our contribution is 4, fixed cost is 8. Our contribution is 4, fixed cost is 8. Means fixed cost is greater than contribution. Means our total fixed cost is rupees 8 and out of that 8 only 4 rupees we have recovered. Means rupees 4 fixed cost not yet recovered. Total fixed cost not yet completely recovered. Only out of rupees 8 total fixed cost, how much fixed cost we have recovered? Only 4. So total fixed cost not yet completely recovered. So unrecovered fixed cost is not recovered. So unrecovered cost means that is loss. That's why whenever our contribution is smaller than fixed cost, or we can say if fixed cost is greater than contribution, then we suffer loss. That's why if fixed cost is greater than contribution, then the difference amount is loss. Our contribution is 4, fixed cost is 8, difference amount is 4, and that 4 is a loss. So as we have discussed in the last lecture, pre-BEP stage means, BEP stage means no profit, no loss stage. Pre-BEP stage we suffer loss. Why? Because our contribution is not enough to recover our complete fixed cost. You can see our contribution is only 4, complete fixed cost is 8. So contribution is not enough to recover our fixed cost. So fixed cost not completely recovered. So unrecovered fixed cost, unrecovered cost, that is loss. That's why unrecovered ₹4 fixed cost is a loss, because our contribution is not enough to recover our total fixed cost. But when we sell 2 units, then what happens? 2 units sold at ₹10 selling price. 2 into 10 sales is 20. Then sales 20 less variable cost of 2 units. Variable cost of 1 unit is 6 and variable cost of 2 unit will be 12. So sales 20 less variable cost of 2 unit. 1 unit variable cost 6, 2 unit variable cost will be 12. So sales 20 less variable cost 12. So contribution amount is now ₹8. Contribution is ₹8. Now our total fixed cost is also ₹8. Means at this stage our contribution became exactly equal to our total fixed cost. And as we discussed in the last lecture, whenever it happens, means whenever contribution becomes exactly equal to total fixed cost, then BEP stage or no profit no loss stage comes. Why? Because when we sell units, variable cost of that units we immediately get recovered and fixed costs remain to recover, as we have discussed in the first case, pre-BEP stage. Now we have sold second unit, 2 units at ₹10, 20 sales, sales 20 less variable cost of 2 units 12, 8 is a contribution, and that contribution amount is utilized to recover our total fixed cost. So ₹8 we have utilized to recover our total fixed cost ₹8. So contribution 8 has been utilized to recover our total fixed cost ₹8. So contribution is in the form of complete fixed cost. In pre-BEP stage, contribution was in the form of part of fixed cost. Only some part of fixed cost we had recover in the pre-BEP stage. At BEP stage, we recover complete fixed cost. That's why contribution is in the form of complete fixed cost. Here we recover complete fixed cost. Where? At BEP stage. When our contribution and total fixed cost becomes exactly equal, that stage is known as BEP stage. And at that point, our total cost and total sales also automatically becomes exactly equal, as we had discussed in the last lecture. So contribution 8 was utilized to recover our total fixed cost ₹8. So what happened at BEP stage? Our total contribution becomes exactly equal to total fixed cost. Contribution is exactly equal to total fixed cost. Means when we sell units, variable cost of the same. When we sold 2 units at ₹20, variable cost of 2 units ₹12 immediately got recovered. Fixed cost was remained to recover. So contribution, remaining ₹8 contribution was utilized to recover our fixed cost. Variable cost completely recover. Now fixed cost is also recovered completely. Our complete fixed cost is rupees 8. Contribution is also 8. So the contribution is utilized to recover our total fixed cost. So we have recovered total cost, variable cost also and fixed cost also. So we have recovered total cost. So our total sales and total cost are exactly equal. So contribution became exactly equal to total fixed cost. That's why there is no loss and no profit, because total fixed cost has completely recovered. Any variable cost immediately get recovered. Then next, if we sell 3 units at rupees 10, sales is 30. Then sales 30 less variable cost of 3 units. 1 unit variable cost 6. 3 units variable cost 18. 3 into 6, 18 is a variable cost of 3 units. 30 sales less variable cost of 3 units, 18 is equal to total contribution is now 12. So total contribution is 12. Out of 12, 8 is utilized to recover our total fixed cost. Now fixed cost is completely recovered already. So remaining 4 will be profit, because our complete fixed cost has been recovered. So in post BEP stage, what happens? Our contribution is in the form of fixed cost and profit. So our contribution is rupees 12. Out of that 12, fixed cost is recover, fixed cost is 8 and profit is 4. Means at pre-BEP stage, our contribution is in the form of part of fixed cost. Only some part of fixed cost we have recovered in pre-BEP stage. Complete fixed cost not recover. Unrecovered fixed cost was 4. That's why 4 is a loss. Unrecovered fixed cost, that is loss. In second stage, we have completely recovered fixed cost. So contribution is equal to fixed cost. That's why no profit, no loss stage. In third step, post BEP stage, our contribution is greater than fixed cost. Our fixed cost is 8. Fixed cost is 8 and contribution is 12. So contribution 12 is greater than fixed cost 8. So our contribution, total contribution is 12. Out of that 12 rupees, 8 rupees was utilized to recover total fixed cost and remaining 4 is a profit. So you can see this equation. If contribution is greater than fixed cost, then difference amount is the amount of profit. So 12 and 8, difference amount is 4, 4 is a profit. Means this is a test. By using this equation, we can understand at which stage we are now. Suppose our contribution is smaller than fixed cost, or fixed cost is greater than contribution. Means contribution is not enough to recover fixed cost. Means fixed cost not yet recover. Cost not yet recover means loss. If our total fixed cost we cannot recover, then company will get loss. Contribution is smaller than fixed cost, then loss. Contribution is equal to fixed cost, then there will be no profit and no loss stage, and that way at that point there will be a BEP stage, or that stage will be called as BEP stage. Then if our contribution is greater than fixed cost, means we have recovered fixed cost completely and we are now earning profit. So total contribution rupees 12, out of rupees 12, 8 is utilized to recover our total fixed cost and remaining rupees 4 is our profit. Means by using these 3 equations, we can understand at which stage our company is now. Whether company is earning profit or suffering loss or having no profit or no loss. How we can realize it? By using these 3 equations. If contribution is smaller than fixed cost, there will be loss, because fixed cost not recover, because our contribution is not enough to recover our fixed cost. And if our contribution and fixed cost become exactly equal, means we have completely recovered fixed cost but we have not earned profit, Because our contribution is not greater than fixed cost. If contribution is equal to fixed cost, then that is BEP stage, or at that point there is no profit or no loss. But if our contribution is greater than fixed cost, means we have already recovered fixed cost and now we are earning, because our contribution is greater than fixed cost. So the difference amount will be the amount of profit. We can see 12 is a contribution, fixed cost is 8, so difference amount is 4, that 4 rupees is a profit. So with the help of this table, an example what we have discussed, how the form of contribution changes as per different stages of BEP. Before BEP stage, our contribution was in the form of part of fixed cost. Fixed cost was 8. Out of that 8, 50% part we have recovered. Fixed cost was 8, contribution was 4, only 50% of fixed cost we have recovered. Our contribution was utilized to recover our part of fixed cost. Fixed cost is total 8, only part of that we have recovered in the pre-BEP stage. That's why pre-BEP stage also known as loss stage. Pre-BEP stage is a loss stage. Why? Because in this stage our contribution is not enough to recover our fixed cost, so the unrecovered fixed cost becomes loss. It always happens. Before BEP stage we get loss, then in second stage at BEP stage we completely recover our total fixed cost. Means our total contribution becomes exactly equal to our total fixed cost. Total contribution 8, total fixed cost is also 8, so the total contribution 8 was utilized to recover our total fixed cost rupees 8. So we have recovered our total fixed cost, so no unrecovered cost, so there will be no loss, and contribution is not greater than fixed cost, that's why there is no profit also. So contribution is equal to fixed cost. Contribution is also 8 at this point and fixed cost is also 8, so it's equal. So complete fixed cost is recovered, that's why no loss, but contribution is not greater than fixed cost, that's why there is no profit. That's why at this stage there is no profit and no loss. Means when our contribution becomes exactly equal to total fixed cost, that stage known as no profit no loss stage or BEP stage. But when our contribution is greater than fixed cost, means we have recovered fixed cost plus now we are earning profit. Okay. In third stage, after BEP stage, our contribution was in the form of fixed cost and profit. Our total contribution is 12. Out of that total 12, rupees 8 is utilized to recover total fixed cost and remaining rupees 4 is our profit. So rupees 12 is our total contribution. Means this is an indication. By using this indication or this equation, we can understand at which stage our company is. Whether company is earning profit, whether company is suffering loss, or whether company is at BEP stage, means earning and no suffering loss. If our contribution is smaller than fixed cost, means contribution is not enough to recover fixed cost, so unrecovered fixed cost amount will be loss. If our contribution is exactly equal to total fixed cost, means we have completely recovered fixed cost, but contribution is not greater than fixed cost, that's why there is no profit, no loss, no profit, that is BEP stage. And if our contribution is greater than fixed cost, then we have completely recovered fixed cost and now we are earning profit. Means if contribution is smaller than fixed cost, then there is a loss. And if contribution is exactly equal to fixed cost, then there is no profit and no loss. And if contribution is greater than fixed cost, then company is at profit. This is a test, this is an indication. By using this equation, we can understand at which stage we are now. If our contribution is smaller than fixed cost, means we are at pre-BEP stage and we are suffering loss. If our contribution is exactly equal to total fixed cost, means we are at BEP stage and we are having no profit and no loss. If our contribution is greater than fixed cost, means we are having profit and we are at post BEP stage. What will be the correlation between contribution and fixed cost at different stages? At pre-BEP stage, there will be loss because contribution is smaller than fixed cost. At BEP stage, contribution will be equal to total fixed cost. There is no profit, no loss. That's why this stage called as BEP stage. Post BEP stage, contribution is greater than fixed cost. That's why there is a profit. So post BEP stage is a stage of profit stage. First stage, loss stage, then no profit, no loss stage, then profit stage. And how form of contribution changes? At pre-BEP stage, contribution is in the form of part of fixed cost. The contribution was recovering some part of fixed cost. Total fixed cost was 8. Out of that, 50% part was recovered. Then when we sold 2 units, then contribution became 8 rupees. Utilized to recover complete fixed cost, which is rupees 8. So contribution is in the form of complete fixed cost. We have recovered complete fixed cost. Then at when we sold 3 units, then contribution rupees 12. So out of rupees 12, recover fixed cost is 8 and profit is 4. That's why this stage is known as profit stage. So what we have discussed, we can identify at which stage we are now by using this equation. If contribution is smaller than fixed cost, there is a loss. When we suffer loss? At pre-BEP stage. If our contribution is equal to fixed cost, means no profit, no loss. Now means we are at BEP stage. If our contribution is greater than fixed cost, then there is a profit and we are at post BEP stage. Means these are the tests. By using this test, we can understand at which stage our company is. Whether company is suffering loss or whether company is at BEP stage or whether company is earning profit. We can understand by using these forms. And we have also understood how the form of contribution changes. At pre-BEP stage, it is in the form of part of fixed cost. At BEP stage, contribution is in the form of complete fixed cost. And at post BEP stage, contribution is in the form of fixed cost and profit. You can see total contribution at post BEP stage is 12, and out of that 12, recover fixed cost is 8 and profit is 4. So the form of the contribution is in the form of fixed cost and profit at post BEP stage. Means how the form of contribution changes as per the changes in the stages of BEP. So I hope all of you understood it. Thank you.